this game isn't. We want to go in system, out of system. So we're concerned about some of our outside's ability to score against the block when they know it's set up. It's kind of a big deal in volleyball, like especially out of system. But just talking about decision making, giving them opportunities to learn how to tool the block, hit the space. The defense against the attackers are not often. They're going to stay for the same two balls, but they're going to change quite a bit. So that the players have to look and recognize what defense they're playing against them. So, but the drill is basically ball where they play an in-system ball and then an out-of-system ball. And in order for the outsides to get a point, it's all the outsides are working together. They have to score two in a row. They have to get a kill on the in-system and they have to get a kill on the out-of-system. And then for the defense to get a point, they have to get two stops, basically. They have to create a swing or they have to get a block. Same as the defensive rules. But just trying to work through the outsides, finding ways to score, really, and then challenging them. And then, again, it gives me a lot of opportunities to talk about decision-making. I mean, you'll see almost every time, not every time, but almost every time, we're talking about stuff and the choice and like what they're doing and what they're going for. I'll ask them a lot of questions here, like what were you going for in this swing? What did you see? Where were they playing defense? Just to try to get them thinking about the game, and mostly to recognize blocking defense and where are the spaces that we can actually get kills. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's the game. Pretty straightforward.
Yeah. I think it's worthwhile to just go back and to check out the spike that just happened and the mistake that was made. Error was made. And then it's a really worthwhile explanation to give her. Okay. You're gonna remember when you see it.
I remember this one for sure. I know exactly. So that swing right there, I feel like that's a problem that a lot of outsides have, especially at least in our gym. Maybe other people have this solved, but when players see the line, they want to go line. They like to take the ball and they kind of go, I guess people say pinky down in our country. I don't love that terminology, but they almost cut it. And the reality is that it opens them up for a lot of errors. It's also hard to control it and has less power. And if I'd rather see our players we talk about, this is what I'm talking about here, is I'm talking about taking it off the pinky or the ring finger of the outside blocker. And to do that, it's a lot easier to kind of go thumb down to go the opposite way and finish that direction like I just demonstrated, where they're kind of finishing this way on the ball. And that way it plays into the court, but also we create a little bit more power, less room for error. And then it's almost like you're just giving a high five to the outside blocker's hand. So that's one of the things we're talking about a lot, is just trying to attack high off those last two fingers, but not cross this way, more this way, or at least straight. But I like it even coming back into the court just a little bit. Too many players make that mistake. It's my least favorite swing. That was better. Yeah, so here, I'll just say this. So some of the things that we're working on as attackers is we're working on hitting off the outside hand of the outside blocker and the outside hand of the middle blocker. Like the swing before where she got it off the middle blocker's hand and we got good deflections. But same thing with those last two fingers, like aiming for there. We get a lot of kills in that space and trying to hit there. Obviously, she got that in the bigger part of her hand, so it's a better deflection. We talk about like how a ball typically reacts. Obviously, there's things that sometimes the ball reacts different than we expect it to for whatever reason, but we talk about if we get these last couple fingers of the outside blocker's hand, whether that's the middle or the outside, we get a lot of points on that. And then we can take it off the other two fingers off the middle in the cross-court space. And so that's some of the stuff, the shots that they're working on with a double block on that. Ipar, who just hit that ball, she got it into the thumb and forefinger, and we talk about that's going to be we're going to be able to recycle that. That's fine. But if you want to score, you're going to have to get off those last two fingers. Yeah, and in this drill, actually, if they do cover, so if we do get a recycle a ball on the block and cover, that still counts as a chance for a point. So she's probably going right there. She's going for that shot. Yeah. But one of the things I don't like about the way she hit that is that she fell away from it as opposed to going through it with her shoulder and getting some rotation. And typically players, when they do that, when they kind of go away from the swing, when they're hitting the cross, they end up sailing the ball deep and missing the block. We'd rather see them finish more like Kendall just did right there, which the rotation of the shoulders through the ball.